Hi, everybody. I want to give a really tremendous introduction to Thomas. And let me tell you something. I met him and I've learned a lot from him. I've listened to his stuff. He goes a lot to Clubhouse. The biggest thing is that what I've listened to really makes a lot of sense. He has massive knowledge. And where we were at before COVID to where we at with COVID. COVID's been around for 2 years now, believe it or not. And let's find out what solutions we have that can help dealerships. Thomas is great. Thomas's background, he worked a long time with LIVZE, major company, and we all know what LIVZE blew up. And they had their growing pains, as I call them, but they're great. So, Thomas, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. I started out selling cars back in 1984, and met my wife, and I was married my wife in 1988, and we pretty much came through our careers together. Went through F&I, went on the desk in the early 90s, then took a job with Ford Motor Credit back in the 90s for almost 10 years. Left there, went to work for the Greenway Automotive Group at their first store, the Ford store. I was there for a few years, and then left there, got into real estate for a little bit, and then came here to Valdosta, got back in the car business, and next thing I know, I was with LIVZE. And
Wow.
Been a ride since then, and 37 years in the car business. I love it. Had a lot of different exposure in a lot of different areas of the business. Just about every chair in the store. So, last week was able to meet some people that I've been talking to since the beginning of the year in Clubhouse, and that was a great experience as well.
Thomas, when I started looking at you, I know you got a lot of experience in the digital side. And I know you got a lot of experience in this LIVZE process, and they grew a lot, right? And I know you were there a long time. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, almost 10 years.
So, Thomas, where do you see this digital space going, and this way, communication, right? So, the automotive went from showroom traffic, right, into phone traffic, right? And now they're going into more form traffic, right? So it's just another form of getting a lead. Then social media came out, right? And the social media stuff that came out, you got Messenger, you got LinkedIn, you got WhatsApp. It's just another way of you getting into your dealership or selling your product, right? So tell me a little bit about what do you think where we're at today with this, and where do you think we're headed?
I'm in dealerships all the time, and people will send in a lead or start poking around, and some are lower in the funnel, some are a little bit higher in the funnel, and the hardest part is just trying to determine where they are in that process. And a lot of times, especially with the OEMs, someone will go to a website and they're blasted out to 4 or 5 different people, 4 or 5 different dealerships, trying to get information on the car. Now, I firmly believe the first person that's able to connect with that customer is going to win that customer. And you have to, the hardest part I see right now is teaching salespeople to read what the customer sent in and respond accordingly.
Right.
Give them the information they're looking for. And he who contacts customer first wins.
Wow. And let me ask you something. In today's world, third-party leads, right? Really, that's not really good. Buying leads from third parties, from a site or whatever it is. And what do you think that is? What's the reason? Is it because they share them, or because that consumer doesn't really know your brand? Tell me about that.
Well, third-party leads, it really depends on the lead provider and the quality of the lead.
Right.
You know, is it a hand raiser? Is it someone that's actually in the market and further down the funnel?
Right.
It really depends on the quality of the lead. It's really the key and where it came from. I mean, my God, General Motors is famous for sending tons and tons of hand raisers. You know, do you really want to waste your time with a hand raiser?
Right, correct. And hand raises, everybody's got them, but having a specific lead and all that's different. But what I'm seeing is a lot of traffic on websites, like on dealer sites, and I mean, and they're very slow, so their conversion is not there. Dealerships have these Dealer Ons and all these other companies out there that develop a site. Dealer Socket develops a site, but you know what? It's their own CMS, content management system, right? So it's kind of slow. It's not like you having it on a dedicated server, running a cloud, running all these things that makes the site faster. And let's face it, the faster the site is, the more you're going to convert. And your average dealership site scores a D, to GT metrics. That's terrible because you're not going to get a lot of conversions, but you're still going to convert. So, and right now, there should be other solutions for this, for the automotive sector, because really speed has to do with conversion, right? If you got a fast site, boom, you're going to convert. And if you don't, you're not going to convert. So what do you think about, do you see dealers investing and spending more time on their websites for conversion purposes?
Well, the biggest opportunity I see is doing an audit of a website, dealer's website.
Right.
Usually it's so, I mean, it looks like the old 1980s and 1990s newspaper ads.
Right.
There's crap all over the place. Pop up this, pop up that, from the bottom, on the sides, from the top. More of a carnival atmosphere than it is, hey, look, I'm just looking for some information.
Right.
Give you a couple of buttons to click on. It's really, the simpler you make it, the better. And there's so much, when dealers upgrade their sites and they change different pieces of the puzzle they may have on there, 9 times out of 10, the script's not removed. So that's what slows down the load time of the website. You'll see, stuff that's been on there for 3, 4, 5 years that hasn't been used. Or vendors that may have put some scripts on their website that they no longer do business with. And 9 times out of 10, even if they change the template of the website, a lot of that is transferred over by the website provider.
Right.
Asking, hey, clean it up, get rid. Just let's start fresh with nothing in there. And that's where you pick up your speed and your load times.
Do you feel that dealerships should look into or start getting mobile apps? Do you think that would be a solution to help get conversion?
I don't think so. I mean, your website really should be mobile friendly,
right?
And that's in essence an app. I mean, you can take your phone, and if you're on a website, you can save it to your phone, or for lack of a better term, the desktop of your phone, and bookmark it, and still get to the same functions that you get with an app.
Right.
But I'm not really a huge fan of apps. It's redundant.
The only reason I say that is because there's an audience, right? So the people that buy cars are from 25 to 40 something, right? And then you get old enough where you say your cars are really important to you, right? But from that 25 to your 40s, and that age group is downloading massive apps, right? Not because it's better than a website, but I'm just wondering, right? Looking at that audience that believes in the app, versus the website, right? Because the app's on your phone, click, you see everything, right? So I'm wondering if maybe dealers should start entertaining the idea of that.
Maybe on the retention side, not on the acquisition side.
Yeah, meaning on the retention side and the acquisition. Because, for example, ShopSmart has a mobile app, right? When we drive traffic through Google, right, we see the analytics when it's a mobile. They're downloading the app, and we're generating a lot of leads from that application. So, I mean, I understand there's a lot of inventory there, so it's much easier to navigate versus the app. But as just looking at that data, I don't know if dealers should have an app or shouldn't. What I do know is how we're looking at it and what we have from ShopSmart, which is the lead gen, right? That's what we know. And we know that lead gen, a big percentage of them are coming from the mobile app. Now, I'm wondering why.
Well, does your mobile app have multiple dealers' inventories or just one dealer?
Yes, it has everybody's inventory, right? I got everybody's inventory. I'm a lead gen, right? So I use everybody's inventory. And that's how I generate leads for those stores,
So, I mean, I as far as apps go, I like Car Gurus because it tells you, okay, hey, it's a good deal, it's not a good deal.
Right.
Okay, the pricing compared to other vehicles.
That's the same with us. We have that verification that you can put the VIN number and find out if it's the right deal or not. So we got more or less the same thing. It's a tool that Black Book has and Kelly Blue Book has. So it's called the verification, the price verification. It tells you if that price is too high or too low, So we have it on our site too. I mean, everybody's using that now because it adds the credibility factor. You have something for 18,000, you put your zip code on it and your VIN number, and it tells you. And on the feed, it tells you if it's verified or not as a good price, with a review, right? So so everybody we are using that currently. And I think that process is going to start going to the dealer sector, because
I've never
feel very, the consumers feel very good about it.
Yeah, it's my first time being on your website.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really, it's okay. It could be better. It's just a lead generation company. That's all. But we did it based on that, and there's a lot of information that we've gotten out there. A guy like you's been a big part of it because I listen to your stuff as a consultant. You're you got a very good brain, and it's very important.
I don't know if you ask my wife, I don't know.
If you ask my wife too, she doesn't. I know they'll say that. No, but really, I mean, be listening to you in the mornings. You're a great motivator. I mean, I look forward of getting up and into that. And I didn't know anything about modern car sales. And the reason also what I wanted to talk to you about, tell me a little bit about this modern car sales. It's an event and it's a very good event. I hear the clubhouse, a lot of knowledge there. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that.
Modern day car sales. A friend of mine, it's like anything else, a friend of mine invited me, Mike Poro, and he says, hey, this is right up your alley. Why don't you check it out? And I, heck, I've been on there ever since. With with just a couple of clicks, you're on there, and you just started connecting. And then we just had this we call an unconference, first one we put together last week, and people showed up. And again, it started with just a conversation, and someone had an idea. Hey, Beam, we're on here every morning and we get to know each other. Why don't we meet in person?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I'm in.
Right. Well, you know what I like about modern car sales, right? There's one thing I really like about it. I've been seeing a lot of these guys that work in the dealership that they start their own event. Right?
Right.
Totally different. I see on Clubhouse, the knowledge that's there, people that like to this morning, there was somebody with a pay plan issue, right? Right away, when somebody tried to coach them and help them, fax it to me. Let me see the pay plan. Let me go over the pay plan, So, and that event would let them, the thing would make a wish, right? Make a wish, which is a very important thing. I see how much you guys got on this make a wish thing. It's amazing, right? So it's like a different type of event. They have these other events. Some guy calls it this, some other guys game changer, this, that, but it's all about the same thing that's been around the car business forever. This is a little different. This has a little different twist, right? Being a sponsor there doesn't mean that you're going to be able to just sell and this, that. No, it's different, right? So there's more. It has a different, to me, it has a different credibility factor than just whatever is going on. There's tons of events out there. But going to a quality event, meaning quality people, that you've built that audience on Clubhouse with old car people, now there's a whole different, to me anyway, there's a whole different perspective. That's what I look at. I don't want to be like these. Event is an event, but it's what's behind that event, how they're delivering that strategy, that content, how they're delivering it. What does it mean, really? And that's important. I love that event, to be honest with you. I want to support that as much as I can because I like what that thing's about. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what's different about Clubhouse is just about anyone can join in the conversation or bring something to the conversation, and then it's more of a round table. And I've been in multiple groups in that app, and one thing I do have to say about our group is we're very cognizant of each other. We don't interrupt. We don't talk over each other. I mean, I've been in some of those rooms where there's people yelling at each other, trying to be the loudest voice. We don't have that. We're very respectful. We value everyone's opinion. We do call it the People's Clubhouse, where anyone can raise their hand and bring up a topic, whether you're a general manager, owner of a dealership, where you're selling cars, you're a service writer, not to demean any of those positions, or even if you're a technician. Hey, come on, join us, talk to us, tell us what's on your mind.
Wow. I love that event, I really do, because that event's very lucrative, and I see you guys do tremendous job. At 6:30 in the morning it starts, right? That's the time I see it.
Yep, we're we Monday through Saturday, 6:45, and it'll typically run to about 9 o'clock. We're trying to get a few people to take over the 9 o'clock hour on the West Coast to kind of keep it going if they so desire. And we'll see how that goes the next couple of months. And it's been a great experience. I've made a lot of great relationships. I've met a lot of great people. And,
yeah, me too. I met you there. I met a few people there too. I actually enjoy it because I enjoy the knowledge. I enjoy, you listen to the people and there's concerns and then there's solutions, right? So, I mean, the solution's always greater than the problem. And that's what I like about it. Somebody talks there about a problem and right away you got a few people reaching out and coming up with a solution,
and we know who has specific specialties. So we'll contact this person, and not to belabor anything. We're not going to sit there and let someone monetize the conversation. Hey, we know. Hey, take it off. Let's pick it up offline. Let's talk about this later today or something along those lines.
Thomas, I really feel that there's a lot, the audience that's watching this, on and off in the replay, you got to really reach out to Thomas because he's got a lot of knowledge in this digital space. He really knows what he's talking about. Follow him on Clubhouse. Listen to him, what he does in that group he's got, the Modern Car Sales. listen to him, because I mean, he's got massive knowledge. And you know what? Today, it's so hard because everything's coming at you. So you got to funnel whatever you can take and learn from it and institute it at your company. And what doesn't work for you, get rid of it. But it's that bringing in that energy, bringing in that speed, like what he's doing is great. And I really, really look forward and engaging with you more in the future and working with you more, because we're big on digital like yourself. We like the digital platforms because digital makes a lot of money if it's done right. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, someone actually gave me that name. So you're my digital car guy, and I went, huh. So I bought the .com probably 20 years ago or so. Heck, I can't remember exactly when. And started using it, and it's just kind of fell into it. Like a lot of things in life, you kind of fall into things by accident. But it's always been the car business has always been a love of mine. I always say once you get the motor oil in your veins, it's hard to shake it out. And there's a lot of dealers that even to this day, they don't have a good GMB, a Google My Business account. It's not set up properly. It hasn't been updated in years. Things of that nature. The little things that add up to, your digital footprint. And that's in the space of things. Now Google My Business has really become, to the forefront because, hey, we're going to ask Siri, we're going to ask Alexa, where does they get information? They're getting it from Google My Business.
And it's really interesting, Thomas. It's really interesting the direction we're headed. And like I always say, it's not where we're at, it's where we're headed that really is important. And we have so much ahead of us and so much learning to do because where we're headed, we don't know. Nobody really knows. I mean, COVID comes to town. Who would know? I mean, 2 years, I was sitting watching television and the governor said we were getting shut down in March, and we did, and I had a business, where, what? You got to figure out, you got to start something else, but it's pretty bad because things happen. I don't know why this COVID came out, but I know this COVID changed the world and changed how we do things, right? I don't go so much on the road, let's say, to dealerships anymore. I do everything virtually. Now it's all about being online on video conferencing, kind of weird, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, actually, the last month or two, I've been actually flying out to dealerships. Been in Orlando, Texas, and heading up to Tennessee here next week, and see another friend of mine at a dealership, and everything kind of goes full circle.
Right.
It caught us all by surprise, forced us back into digital. Well, I think now things are starting to return more so to normal, or what we used to call normal. And we'll see how the business starts to react as things start to come back up again. I know there's still a few states and governors that want to hold things back, but that's also going to bite them in the butt, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Not to get political, but
things are changing. Things are changing rapidly. Thomas, the other thing is that I wanted to tell you is that something really, really interesting that caught my eye, right? How a lot of these companies now have a training module for virtual video selling. Because, selling here is totally different than you walking into a dealership.
True, and video is becoming more and more acceptable. I think the hardest part is for salespeople to get comfortable in filming themselves.
Right.
And I've learned like a lot of other trainers have learned, to go in and teach an entire staff is tough. But if you can get one or two people in the dealership to do it,
and
the other salespeople are going to start seeing their production, and then they're going to want to jump on the bandwagon.
Absolutely.
It's human nature.
Well, Thomas, listen, it's been great speaking to you. I try to keep this short for 20 minutes, no more than that. We're a little bit over. Thanks a lot. And I really hope to come back with you the next time, because I know you got a lot of knowledge, and I know you're really smart, and you know what you're talking about in the car business. You've been in the car business forever, probably as long as me or more. You know what I mean? But thanks a lot for coming on board.
Oh, hey, thank you.
I look
Thank you for
forward
having
to engaging with you and with the modern car sales. Great job. I'm really happy that that our friends went over there and Melinda went over there and all that. And I'm really grateful for that, because I see what a great event it is, and that clubhouse, whoever owns it and all, tell them that great job with this event. And this event's going to be top-notch events in the car business. They're making a big difference. But thank you, Thomas. Do you have anything else to add there?
No, hey, I appreciate the time. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Have a great day.